The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. This is the Sportsocracy. Check out our friends at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. The Atlanta Falcons and the New York Jets took a little old trip to jolly London.
Hey, and you know what the best part of this game is?
What?
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over. We don't have to see that shit again.
Oh,
Good
poor
God,
Jeremy
both these
and
teams
his Jets.
suck.
Couldn't get a win over one of the worst defenses in the league. 27-20, Atlanta wins. At least you had some bright spots as far as your prognostication skills, old Flostradamus. As
Don't
Kyle
call me the
Pitts,
tight end whisperer for nothing.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts had his breakout game with Calvin Ridley not making the trip to London. 9 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Matt Ryan was pretty good in this game.
It's not hard to be really good against the Jets.
This is true.
I mean, especially when they live on the field. I mean, my God, they only had the ball for 24 minutes, and the vast majority of that was in the third quarter. I mean, through 3 drives they had run, or through 2 drives they had run 6 plays to Atlanta's 27. So I mean, this Jets team has a lot of work to do.
Yep.
The defense, if they could get off the field, they would be fine. And Atlanta, I just look at it like, you know, I do think you found something in Cordero Patterson. You'll be better when Calvin Ridley's back. I think Kyle Pitts is starting to get comfortable in the NFL and comfortable in his role. I understand that, you know, it wasn't the greatest prediction ever that he was going to have a good – the Jets don't do well against tight ends. They haven't for years. And this was a kill spot for Darren Waller's and George Kittle's and Travis Kelce's every time we play them. Good tight ends kill this team.
Yep.
The one thing I will say is stop with Mike Davis. Cordero Patterson's the best running back on this team. It's not even debatable.
Agreed.
He's the best between the tackles runner. He's the best outside the tackles runner. At this point, it should be drastically leaning to Cordero Patterson. And Mike Davis should be coming in that spell role to be the thumper because he is a bigger guy. But other than that, I mean, not, you know, Tajay Sharp had a decent day. Hayden Hurst had a couple catches. You know, good win for the Falcons and another bleak week to be a Jets fan.
Cordero Patterson had 14 carries for 54 yards, 7 catches. That is, he is on a streak catching balls out of the backfield like, you know, well, I mean, like he's an RB1. And I don't think you can treat him any differently.
In fantasy, no, you can't.
No. 7 catches for 60 yards. Didn't get into the end zone this week, but he had 3 the week before, so come on.
Do you know how big Cordero Patterson is?
How big he is? 6'2"?
He is 6'2".
6'2", 202?
220.
Ooh, he's bigger than I thought he was.
He's bigger than I thought he was, too.
Yeah, I thought
somebody said this on Twitter, and I went, good God. I don't know why I thought he was smaller than that. He's not. I think he might be the best offensive weapon on this team.
I would agree.
Atlanta's finally found a way to use him. He's bounced around the league. He's always been hyper athletic.
Yeah.
And I just look at Atlanta and go, you know, you can beat bad teams, and I think they're going to continue to beat bad teams.
I think he's the best weapon because of the change of pace that he allows. But at some point,
Well, he's just so hard to cover.
Somebody's going to figure it out.
What are you going to put on him? Well, what are you going to put on him? A safety? You're going to bring a safety down from up high, or you're going to bring one to the. It's very difficult schematically to defend him.
Right.
Especially when you got somebody like Kyle Pitts. I could see the combination eventually being right. I just think Atlanta's going to get better as time progresses. The bad thing is you don't play that many bad teams.
No.
You play the Dolphins this week, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I think you're going to win this game. From there, there's a lot of. Well, you could beat the Patriots. I think you will beat the Jaguars. You will beat the Lions.
Yep.
But I just see this as a 6-11, 7-10 team that you just want to keep seeing things grow, and you got to eventually figure out. You've got to figure out who your quarterback is.
After the good week that the New York Jets had last week, beating the Tennessee Titans, and Zach Wilson looked like he was finally coming around, he had the poop in your pants game. He went over to London, put up
Hold on. I had one more stat on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had one more stat on tight ends.
Yeah.
Hey, this is to the Jets,
Okay.
so it makes sense to do the transition here. The 44.9 PPR fantasy points that the Jets defense allowed to Falcons tight ends was the most that any team had allowed to opponents' tight ends in a game since the Jets allowed 45 to the Raiders last year in Week 13. Shocker. For all those people that said, no, the Jets are good against tight ends. Okay.
No, they're not.
No, they're good against teams that don't have one of those. But everybody's good against those.
No. I'm going to steal a page or steal a phrase out of the Jeremy Greene playbook here. Y'all can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass.
No, it's bad. To me, the play call is infuriating. You know, Michael Carter, in my opinion, has clearly delineated himself as the best back in this backfield, and that means exactly. I mean, whoop-de-doo. You're the best running back on arguably the worst rushing team in the NFL. I think this falls on Mike LaFleur. The fact you haven't scored a touchdown in any of your 5 games in the first half that's damning. And I just feel like you're putting Zach Wilson, even when they put Zach Wilson in a position to succeed, I feel like he can't do it. The only time I've legitimately seen Zach Wilson look like an NFL quarterback was against Tennessee. That's it. I mean, he missed wide open receivers in the flat. He missed guys. He missed throws that NFL quarterbacks can't miss, period. I understand, it was a bad throw. We had about 9 of them. So, that's a problem. And I'm just looking at this going, I like the weapons. I like Corey Davis. Keelan Cole has shown me some things. I like, obviously, Jamison Crowder that I already knew about. You got to find a way to get Elijah Moore the ball. He's open way too often for him to have, what's he got, 4 catches or something like that all year long?
Yeah.
He did cause a gigantic PI that kept them in the game. He's got 7 catches on 14 targets. And that's just, 8 catches on 20 targets, excuse me. That's just not good enough. This kid's too good. They've got to get, and I'm not a coach in the NFL. I don't know how you're going to make this easier for Zach Wilson because I feel like they did that last week and he couldn't do anything with it against a bad defense. This is one of the worst defenses the Jets will play, and he was still below average. Yep. So I don't know what the solution is. I think you've got to take some of these things off his plate, and Mike LaFleur has to be better. I blame Mike LaFleur more than I blame anybody in this Jets organization for how this has started.
Hit that subscribe button. Get all of our team-by-team content here in the Sportsocracy throughout the 2021 NFL season. We will have your team previews coming up later on in this week. And, of course, join us every weekday morning live here in the Wicked Weed studio at 10 a.m. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and we'll see you next time.